How's everyone doing? I'm going to change my message to all messages. Good morning. Oh, I forgot. That's all right. My hair is crazy this morning. I did try to put it in like something neat, but it's a little crazy. I've been working on my pumpkin. I'm calling it a pumpkin magic. So the original, let's see, do I have it? I might have put it away. This was sent to me. It's a free pattern. So if you want to do something that's a free pattern that gives you, hello Jessica, the feels of a pumpkin, charmed, free pattern from AGF Studios. This is what I use for inspiration. So you see it, right? Wait till you see pumpkin magic. That's what I'm calling it, pumpkin magic, because it's completely different. I was intending to do that exact pattern, and it just didn't work out that way. And my honey's like, that doesn't look anything like the inspiration pattern. I was like, yeah, I know. So I'm calling it pumpkin magic, and I'm actually pretty excited. I'm going to show it to you when we get a little bit more in here. So I am right now sewing up some of the, this is going to be the border, the outside border of this quilt. I had decided I wasn't going to do a border, and then I had decided that I want to bring the orange in again. And where I could bring in the orange again in this quilt would be as the border. Also, I think with all the pieces going on, it'll be easier to long arm. Everything will kind of just stay. The patchwork won't get wonky on me. So, yes, so that's what we're doing. Jessica, I will share out your part 2 of your Festival of Threads. So I did put on to notify me, because there's a button, even a special button when it comes into your feed that says notify when, even though I have the little bell on. And somehow I still didn't get notified. And then last night I saw it and I was like, oh, I forgot. That's the whole reason why I wanted my phone to notify me. So that did not happen, but I will go and watch it and share you out. And here we are. I hope you had a bunch of people coming in. Now we will see how long my voice will behave itself. So my voice has been in and out since yesterday. I don't know why. It just wants to mess with me. And so, so I may have to cut this short because now all of a sudden it's starting to get funny sounding. I tell you, if it's not one thing, it's another. Good morning. I gotta look up here. Good morning, Tanvir. What's up? I'm making quilts. That's what's up. This morning we're making quilts, and I will be showing you my pumpkin magic quilt in a second. I just want to sew up these borders so you can get an idea of where we're at. Good morning, Rebel and Shiny. It's so early. It is very early. I love it. It's better than being in bed upset that we're awake. I appreciate that. I think it's because I'm under 500. It even says I can't go live yet. Well, that is why we are trying to get you to 500. I've been putting it out there. A lot of channels out there are just shy of being 100, and hopefully we can get that. We can get you all to 500. I'm hoping. Excuse me. There goes my voice again. Hi, Mom. What are you doing up? Waves are high. Yeah, I told you the waves are high. That's all I've seen coming out of Puerto Rico. Some wacky, crazy waves. I just subbed Sewing on the Bluff. Oh, good, because we really need to. Hi, Regina. I was just thinking about you yesterday, girl. Can you email me at pastryqueen13@gmail.com, please? I have a question to ask you. Yeah, pastryqueen13@gmail.com. That would be for, I mean, anybody can email me with any questions, but in particular, I wanted to get a hold of Regina. You must have seen that you were in my thoughts, because I was just thinking that. How am I going to get to Regina? All right, so here is our side of our pumpkin magic, and let's go reveal. So again, I'm going to start. We started this as inspiration. And we ended up with, I'm so loving this. Yes, I am trying to put up everybody for the Festival of Threads, like Sewing with Jess. I have to put her up today and shares her out. I'm trying to not inundate, I'm trying to spread it out. Okay. And that is what happens when we ask questions like that. Yes, I'm up today because I'm going back to work today. Send prayers. I will. And please don't forget to email me, Regina, because I need you to email me. So anyway, if you have time, not to put another pressure on you. Katie Crafts, welcome in. So this is my pumpkin magic quilt. So we went from something very beautiful and serene to something like this. My honey was like, what's with the mouth, honey? He didn't like the mouth. It's okay. I always make my jack-o'-lantern with teeth, and I can never get the points. So I always do boxed teeth. According to him, they needed to be like flipped and stitched, but it wasn't happening because that's not how I make a pumpkin. So this was fun to do, because I was trying to figure out how to get a face in this. So what I did was I took out my bag of scraps and I just did a whole lot of flip and stitching. So I flipped and stitched. So these are not identical. I just took these. I had some, here, I'll show you what I had. I had some triangles, because here's some from triangles. So I had triangles like this, and I just took it on a block and I flipped and stitched it. So I flipped and stitched one corner here of a 4.5-inch block. I took a 4.5-inch block and I flipped and stitched on all four sides of that to make the nose. This was the most difficult. So I flipped and stitched the one corner here, and then I used the double bar thing that we've been putting in here like that. I put them this way. And this here, well, this was, I don't know what to tell you. I just went and added stuff. I'm like, okay. So I did 3 bars, and then I put this on the bottom and this on the top so that it would all connect. So I don't have a pattern for this. This was a made up face using flip and stitches and just kind of crummy quilting. Good morning, Norma and E. Marie. It's not done. We're gonna finish working on it. I have it in pairs of 2. So in pairs of 2. And I got to tell you, all this was from scraps. You saw all the scraps. I still have scraps. I can't get rid of them. I still, even after everything, but everything in here is smaller than 2.5-inch piece. Everything in this bag is smaller than 2.5-inch. And look, these are the scraps that were created yesterday from flipping stitches and stuff like that. So see, that's smaller than 2.5. And this, I think, is smaller than 2.5. Yeah, this is 2.25. So this bag, I did use everything that's 2.5 and up. But yeah, still have crumbs. But this whole quilt this bag was overflowing. So, you'll see some regular 4.5-inch squares. You'll see 2.5-inch squares that made a 4.5-inch square over here. You see a 2.5-inch right here. right? A 2.5 inch by 4.5, and then 2.5 by 2.5. That when sewn together make a 4.5. So you have some 3 patches looking like this. So I did change something. Yesterday I had 3 of them and nothing was working. I kept everything to a 4.5 inch because it was going to be a little bit of a nightmare. And what I had done is I took off, remember I had 2 solids and then the 2, I took off the 1 solid. So this block unit here, it was ended up being 4.5. And as you can see, there's half square triangles in here, right, to make our corners. But basically, everything in the kitchen sink went into this. Everything in that bag. Everything in that bag just kind of went in here. Again, I used a 4.5 inch grid. So just be creative. Whatever, as long as the block is 4.5 inches, even if it's crummy looking, I could have taken some of these and crumbed them up and threw them in here too. That's how I created this. Same thing with the pumpkin. You know, you see I have here 2, 2.5, and then a 2.5 inch bar. I have bars going across this way instead of this way. I mean, you know, anything goes in this quilt. Just go and just use your scraps. That's my thing to you. Go and use your scraps. Hello, Andrea. And this is a little bit bigger than a scrap, so I'm going to put that. Now, after it was quiet, everybody was sleeping, so I couldn't sew really. I really didn't want to get out of bed either, to tell you the honest truth. I got out of bed because I wanted to work on this, but early when I woke up early. I woke up at 5:30, I think, 5:30. And I laid in bed for about an hour. But I was sketching for my next quilt. Even though this one is not done, I am sketching for the next quilt. I'll show you that in a second. So I want to show you this because I'm all over the place. So we have our pumpkin magic, okay? And then I decided that I wanted to bring the orange. I'm going to bring this up a little. I'm moving the camera, sorry. Hi, Lori. So I decided I wanted to bring this orange in again. And what I had this, look. So if you sent me this, yes, it's in there. So last year, people sent me their Halloween scraps. I was getting Halloween scraps from you all. It was so cute to create. And I created a lot of things, and I'm still using them. So we have, I'm going to introduce the orange. So the orange is going to, I'm going to move the camera. The orange is going to go on the sides, on this side too, to kind of tie everything up. I feel like it all needs to be tied up. And I had some of this. See, orange again. I didn't have any orange of one kind, okay? I am only working on scraps because I don't have yardage, any kind of yardage per se of Halloween fabrics. So that's why everything is going to be Halloween scrappy. And so we're going to put this on the top. So it's going to be bordered with like a scrappy border. And then I have the bottom. And I think that's going to tie everything up, just button it up really nice. I actually want to stick this on my bed. I wish I had my long arm. It's supposedly coming in today because I want to long arm this and get this right on my bed. Right now I have the spider webs, which my mom, I'm moving the camera. When my mom was here, she had the spider web quilt on her bed, and now it's moved to mine. I truly love your version. Well, thank you. I mean, so I don't know if I don't, even though it's a free pattern, I can't give you the sizes, but the sizes are big blocks, okay? I'm just going to say it. The sizes are big blocks. I didn't have scraps that big. I mean, you know, and that's what we came up with. I love it. I love it. I mean, and I was this morning, I was like, it's like pumpkin magic. It was just magical. So as I was up, like I told you, in bed, and I was thinking, I'm thinking and thinking and thinking. I said, I would like to do this again, right? But this time with ghosts. Maybe we'll do bats. I don't know, but maybe with ghosts and do a patchwork, ghosty feel type of situation. So I was up here. Once I got up here, I started drafting. And I came up with something that may look like this. And then we need some that look like this. I don't know. I may actually applique. I may actually cut that little round nose and put a round nose on there as an applique. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm not sure what to do with the noses. I was at first saying, why don't I just do the eyes more like Pac-Man ghosts? But I'm thinking like this. Hi, Alex. Alex is from Living and Crafting with MS and Quilting in the Country. Lori, she actually, I posted yesterday about her channel too. I will also try to post with Living and Crafting. She just surpassed 400. She was so excited on her live yesterday. She was at 404. So we're also trying to get her to 500. Now, what I don't understand is how Jessica can't get in for a live until she's 500 because Lori's not at 500. So I'm not sure why they're picking on you. But anyway, so we have that. And this is my idea. I'm not thinking the whole quilt is going to be one ghost. I'm thinking I'm going to have lots of ghosts. Like it's going to be going through patchwork, ghostly going through patchwork and making its way through. I mean, that's what I'm envisioning in my head. I don't know. And then we had talked about, I had just received these charm packs. I really didn't want to go 2.5. That's too small. And I didn't know if I wanted to go 5 either. So I'm thinking I may stick with the 4.5 because it seems to be easy, right? I can just kind of get my scraps in there easier, whether it's with 2.5-inch squares and 2.5-inch jelly rolls. And this, I would be cutting this to 4.5. It's not too bad. I don't think it's a big waste of fabric. But look, I have all these whites I could use. And yeah, it's floral. It's okay. You know, we could have some floral and Halloween. So I thought I could use like the white ones in the ghosts and then have a grid that has, you know, some grays and blacks in it and golds. I don't know. Don't know where my fabric selection is really low, being that I did just use a lot of my scraps. So I'm thinking of using this. And I didn't bring tea this morning. You know what? I'm going to put the tea on. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just put the tea on. All right, I've got the tea on. So I have these charm packs, which I think can start me out pretty good. I can use those. I have some more white that was from like my scrappy bits and pieces. So I have that. And wait, where is my... Didn't I have a piece that I said is not a scrap? What did I do with it? Did I put it in here? Oh, here it is. Yeah, because I might use this actually. Okay, so I have some whites still that I kind of put aside. This was from the Ginger Quilter box. That's extra. So I thought I could throw that in. And then I have these Ginger Quilter, but they're not 5 inches. So I can again do the bars and the 2.5-inch and get some stuff in here. So it's looking like we have whites for the ghosts and grays and blacks and some of this pink. I have this piece. That piece I think will look good with it. I have a lot of this that was gifted to me last year, so I thought I could throw that in. And this more orange. And this alien piece, it's an alien. I don't know. You know what? I think it'll go good. It'll be a different kind of vibing kind of quilt here. This is what I have so far. This is what was left over from yesterday's quilt. And then, of course, solid black scraps for the eyes and maybe nose. I have this little piece because I can introduce this purple in with that. I don't know. It's going to be a little different. But this has, the bow has to kind of, I feel like the bow needs to pop. And I'm not sure. I don't want it to get lost with the patchwork. And, you know, I just said this needs to go. So I'm thinking maybe green, just a pop of green in for the bows on the little Miss Ghosts. I'm thinking the green now that I'm looking at this. So we're looking at like something like this with the black and white. I mean, with the black and gray, and then maybe this for the bows. And then I have this little piece also that was left over, and I'll kind of, I don't know, I'll get it in the quilt somehow. I mean, that's where I'm going with it. That's what I'm thinking after I'm done with this. Hi, Holly. I've been wanting to make a ghost quilt. Well, there you go. I'm going to use a 4.5-inch grid kind of idea situation, but I'm going to make it like that, but little ghosts. So they're going to be ghosts going ghostly through this. But yeah, they're going to go ghostly through all the scraps when I cut them all. I mean, these really aren't scraps. These are actually big pieces of fabric with a little bit of scraps, and then these charm packs. And but I'm going to show you a couple things here. Maybe you've seen some. I have a lot. It's like we will have to take a field trip. My house has the Halloween stuff up. But I'm getting ready to go back to work. And the first thing everybody keeps texting me from work is, we miss you. The walls are like bland and blah. Hi, Michelle. And so everybody's waiting for me to have my quilts up in the walls in the young elementary wing. So I have to actually go buy, what do you call those hooks, those command hooks. But I will be putting this up. This is a vintage panel. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So I'm pulling some Halloween stuff for me to take to school. We have our ghost. This is our ginger quilter ghost. This was from last year. So we will put this. Actually, the custodial staff loves this. They say it glows in the dark when they shut off the lights and there's like a ghost in the hallway. I always put up the little ghost and the quilt, the little ghost quilts with the book. I always put that up, but I gave that away to my niece last year, so I may have to make another one of those. Hi, Linda. Then we will be putting up this. These are Fat Quarter Shop. I was looking so forward to Fat Quarter Shop's Halloween quilt this year, and they didn't do one. They did in autumn. I was so disappointed because that's what I do. In October, I always work on the Fat Quarter Halloween quilt. And so this is going to go up. And I was so excited because I wanted like the kiddos to have something fresh and new. And just so you see the backing, I just use whatever I have. That's the back of the quilt, you know. And you don't necessarily need a full back like here. You can see these are bits and pieces. I just kind of piece stuff. And you can also make them reversible because this is my December. You see, that's on one side, and then I have this on the back, so I can flip it over. Oh, sorry, my bra is falling down. Not that you need to know. But, oh boy. And so here's another back, as you can see. And then this one. And then I have also from the, you know, I used to get the spooky box from Fat Quarter, but those are hanging up amongst my house. Here's another one that's going to go on the walls. This one says Happy Halloween. And look, the back is just a crumb back. And then I have a lot, I have to count because I'm going to need a lot of hooks. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I will have 5 quilts to display. If someone is doing the Fat Quarter Spooky Box, if you order the Fat Quarter Spooky Box and you are making the quilt and you are done making the quilt, if you, and I'm not saying you have to, but if someone is done making the Spooky Box quilt, I would appreciate if someone would send me the pattern. You would have to be the physical pattern because we don't share patterns, you know, pattern. I just went on this whole thing about pattern writing, okay? So we're not photocopying patterns. I don't want that. I'm saying if you're done with your pattern and you would like to pass along your pattern, I would be happy to receive it because I would be happy to do it. And then here we have this other one. Now this is a reversible because I will put this in the hallway and then November will come and I will flip that other one and I will flip this one and then we'll have this to display. I never even quilted this. What the heck did I do here? Oh, I've got to quilt this. That's funny. I must have been in a rush. I never noticed that I didn't quilt it. So what I did was did an envelope method, but I didn't actually put quilting lines in this. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I'll have to quilt this on my machine here. That'll be later on today. I must have done this one last year, or who knows when I did it. So I'm going to display these when I get back to work this week. That's a little bit of a show and tell. So yes, again, so if you have bought the spooky box, you're done with your pattern, and you will not be using it, I would be happy to receive it. I love the spooky box pattern. Me too. And then when I saw it, I went to go and order it. You need to decorate. I have to decorate for those kiddos. They love the Halloween stuff. Well, when I do all the seasons. I loved it, but I just couldn't manage that box price for my for this month. So in any case, because this, you know, there's going to be someone out there, you're going to make the spooky box pattern and it's going to sit in someone's drawer. So if you don't want it to sit in the drawer, I'm happy to receive it. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my pumpkin magic. And with that said, we have our first like little question. Janis Joplin's will called for the, and this is a true or false question. So the answer would be T or F, true or false or myth, okay? Janis Joplin's will called for the executor to throw a party at her favorite pub for 200 of her closest friends. True or false? And we're just going to come up here and we're going to grab our rows of 2. And so far everything is definitely, look at that. They're laying flat, nesting. They're nesting. I love when they nest. And this was kind of hard because I was kind of a crap, what do you call that? A crap, listen to me. It was a, you know, I didn't know whether it was going to nest or not. But it ended up. My pressing might have not been the best because that one Let's see. So we have a true. So who here is sewing the spooky box? No, you don't want to tell me. That's fine. But who is actually sewing that box? And did you find the pattern easy to sew? And we have another true. So the answer to that is true. It says a banner at the door said, "Drinks are on Pearl." Drinks are on Pearl, it said. I cannot believe that this happened to actually work. I was expecting some seams to not match at all. Friends, don't forget to hit the like. LOL, I never thought of asking anyone to pass along their patterns to me. I just figured I would never get them. So I never thought of that either, except for last year, the pattern for last year. Someone passed it along to me. Where is it? It was in one of those that I just showed you. They finished their project and they passed along. They sent me a email and said, "I'm done with my pattern," and showed me their work and said, "Would you like the pattern? I'd be happy to send it so you can make it for the kiddos." So I did. And so I thought, okay, this works. Because I don't need all the tchotchkes. I just need the pattern. The kiddos don't care if I get a spray bottle or not. They just like the artwork on the walls. That's all they like. Oh. Hi, Joe. Yes, we're not Xeroxing. We're definitely not doing that. But, you know, you are allowed to pass your patterns if you're done with them. You're allowed to even sell them. All right, let's see. I have a pile. Look, all different kinds of cards. We haven't done these cards in a while. Let's go into survival mode. Hopefully we don't go on vacation with me because it's a never good thing. Are we ready? How to reduce the pain from a bee sting. A, mix meat tenderizer and water and apply it to the sting. B, put olive oil on the sting. Or C, pour tomato juice and whiskey on the sting. Tomato juice and whiskey. That sounds like a drink, maybe. I don't do Bloody Marys, but I'm just saying. That sounds like a cocktail. I don't know if that'd be good on a bee sting, but maybe it would sting so much that you would forget that you just got stung. Oh, let's see. Held for review. What do we held for review? Oh, no. We definitely don't do that. Oh, actually, now that I thought about it, I'm sorry. You were right. You can say that. I apologize. My mind was going somewhere else when you said that. I apologize. But I can't can I get it back? Let's see. I think I got it back. Because that's done for some things. So I'm not going to say no. I would die. No, that's all right. When I read that, I get some trolls in here that say some really wicked things, and I just read that wrong. So yes, that could be a possibility, but the answers are A, B, or C. We have a lot of A's, and A is mix meat tenderizer and water and apply it to the sting. I've never knew that. Okay. Oh, here we go. How to keep from looking haggard on a long business flight. How to keep looking haggard on a long business flight. So Nikki last year sent me a lot of her Halloween scraps. So Nikki, you may see a lot of your scraps you sent me. in this pumpkin magic quilt that I did. Let's see. Okay, I got to read you the choices though. How to keep from looking haggard on a long business flight? A, apply sunscreen at least a half hour before getting on the plane. B, drink lots of water and wear lip balm. C, do not fasten your seatbelt unless you begin to feel turbulence. Oops. What in the world? I'm using up the last, this is a good time to use up the last bits of your like thread spools and bobbins. So we have, we have lots of bees. Lots of bees. So here is the top. Other people's scraps are in here too. I actually got a lot of Halloween scraps. And everyone's scraps went into this scrap quilt. Now we're going to do this part. Let's see. P. We have a bee. We have some bees. I'm going to bring this closer since I'm not necessarily designing. I hope you're feeling better, Joe. Oh, poor Joe. Joe can't catch a break some days. Oh, wait, your eyelid yesterday? Had a cyst removed from my, oh, please don't say that. I found a big bump on my eyelid and I was like, oh, that's weird. I've never seen that before and thought, oh, maybe I'll make an appointment with the dermatologist. I don't want to have that done. It doesn't, it actually just looks like a little dot. All right, so how to keep from looking haggard on a long business flight. These are our choices before I reveal it. A, apply sunscreen at least an hour before getting on the plane. B, drink lots of water and wear lip balm. C, do not fasten your seatbelt unless you begin to feel turbulence. I'm making sure as I am nesting my seams that this is going this way and that's going that way. We are doing good so far. Saludos de México, Alfonso. ¿Cómo está, Alfonso? Qué bueno. Vienes de México. I should be packing for the hospital. Oh no, what is going on with you? I must have missed something there. Are you going into the hospital or you have to pack someone? Okay. I thought it was a style, but oh, a sty. Oh, wow. Everything is a long wait. It took me how long to get my surgery? And we knew my surgery needed to happen in June. May, June, right? And it didn't happen until August. Mid to late August. Yeah. Okay, so the answer is B, drink lots of water and wear lip balm. All right, next. Let's do one of these. Okay, what is this? Oh, yeah. I think that happens quite often. I think that happened with Katie too. When are you going back to work? I'm going back to work on Thursday. A moose. Okay, so it is a moose. So true or false? European moose are called elk. Morning, Lisa. We have true, 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 and the answer is true. The answer is true. The name moose is believed to come from the Algonquin word for what? A, big animal, B, long legs, or C, twig eater. With that said, let me go get my tea. And with that said, I just love the smell of jasmine tea. I'm obsessed with this jasmine tea. I really am obsessed with this jasmine tea. It's so good. The smell is incredible too. Let's see. It'll be in for 4 days, but probably longer. Oh no. That's so yummy. Here we are. So we have A's and we have a C. I see a B. We have this portion of the eyes and nose. It's really beginning to look like pumpkin. I saw it on Amazon Days. I was perusing that this morning. Not that I can buy anything or need anything, but I guess if you're looking for a Oliso iron, they have it on special. I saw that. What else did I see? I saw some where did this go? This one, that's not there. This, there, okay, here. I also saw, no, that goes this way. I also saw not stabilizers, but you know, like interfacing. I saw interfacing on sale. The one thing I did buy, I made one purchase, and that was dishwasher pods because we were out of dishwasher pods. And I have to use the all natural, no plastic. So I got those. Those were $7.99 for 36 pods. I don't know. I thought that seemed like a good price. So that's the only buy I made was just that. But I went underneath the quilting section and saw like what they had. Let's see. Yes, we are all thinking about you. Who has the special on that pricey iron? That was Amazon. Today's Prime Day. I saw it. It came up. I wrote quilting, Prime Day deals, and I wrote quilting, and up came the iron, the mini iron, and the big iron. And there was a lot of things. I wanted to get the iron that what's her name? Jordan Fabrics uses, which is the Rowenta steam iron. My honey's mom has it, and she raves about that iron because I find I can't really get a good steam on, you know, those other ones. So, but they had it on special, but not special enough. It was still at $269. So, yeah, that's not happening. Here we go. I love my Panasonic. Yeah, I have that right there. But again, I can't use it with steam. I've told this to them many, many times. It melts in the back. I don't understand it. And I've used everything they've told me. I want the Laura Star iron. Well, I want the Laura Star iron. If I'm complaining about $265, there's no way I could afford. I think, isn't that iron like thousands of dollars? Oh, yeah, that's why, Nikki, I was looking for the Rowenta steam iron. Was that the one you're saying that leaks or the other one? Oh, soy de Brasil. Well, hola, ¿cómo estás? I mean, I don't speak Portuguese, but I can understand it a little. I use my Rowenta when I need steam. Yeah. Oh, that's why it's on your dream list. Yes. Oh, I have Rowenta, they leak. So I had many Rowentas back in the day. Rowenta was the iron before Aliso, and they did leak. But this is an iron. It's like a steam iron system. So you have your tank of water here. There's a big hose, and then you have an iron attached. You won Shannon Fabrics big giveaway. Well, congratulations, Joe. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Okay, on that moose question, the name moose is believed to come from the Algonquin word for what? And it is sea twig eater, twig eater. 3, what are the ends of the antlers called? What are the ends of the antlers called? There's no multiple choice. But if you're into hunting, I'll give you this. If you're into hunting deer, you'll know what it could probably be. Spikes, lines, no. Wow, that's good. Points. That's it. It's points. It's points. Points is right. Okay. We did that. Well, I don't know if we did this. How to treat hyperventilation. A, sitting with your legs extended, sip hot tea. B, breathe quickly and deeply into a paper bag. C, slow the pace of your breathing until you are taking one breath every 6 seconds. I get Eurosteam a few months ago. Love it for yardage. That's why I want a steam iron, a really good steam iron. B. B has to go to, but maybe C. We have B and C. So the answer is C. Slow the pace of breathing until you take one breath every 6 seconds. Then here's the next one. Ready? How to recognize hypothermia. How to recognize hypothermia. A, shivering and decreasing level of consciousness resulting in disorientation and an impaired ability to think. B, shivering followed by headaches and nausea. And C, shivering followed by hot flashes, hyperactivity, and irrational behavior. There you go. Now, don't forget to go to my live. That has nothing to do with the question. To my live in which I have that pass it forward. Make sure that you comment with the word in a sentence, because tomorrow on my live, I am going to announce the Panel Perfect quilt winner, the Panel Perfect book quilt winner. And then I will actually have other things that I will give away that will be an instant giveaway on tomorrow's live. So tomorrow I'll announce who won the Panel Perfect, and I will also have, so the Panel Perfect is only within the US, but if you're from somewhere else, I have prizes that I could send anywhere. Okay? So we have a Flores de Naturaleza, Marty. Hola, ¿cómo está? I'm going to say you speak Spanish, maybe, or I don't know. I just had someone here from Brazil, so I'm not sure. It could have been that too. What day was that? How did I miss it? I am not sure what day that was. I just had it in my head that, oh, I'm going to announce that. Oh, that's the smile. Here it is. So now we're going back to the top. I'm going to find the live, and then I will post it on my post. How about that? I will, you know what I'll do? I'll go find it and write pass it forward live. And then this way you guys can find it easier today. I really need some Halloween fabric. I want to make a Halloween quilt. Are you going to be on at 7 your time? I can set an alarm to be 7 my time. Yeah, what I've been doing now. Absolutely. Goofy Twins, hello. By the way, I received my gift in the mail from the live from when you got to 3,000. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, ready? The hypothermia, the answer is A, shivering and decreasing level of consciousness resulting in disorientation and impaired ability to think. All right, we're going to go with another animal here. What is this? Oh, I think we did this. We did these. I'm pretty sure we did this. Maybe not. Okay, what is this? That is 4 a.m. my time. There we are. We're going to work on that, and I'm going to keep working on my pumpkin magic. We're almost there. Look, we're getting bigger. We're getting bigger. And we're still nesting. Good. I'm loving that we're still on the nesting thing. We have llama. Llama, it is it. Llama once lived only in North America. True or false? Llamas once lived only in North America. True or false? We have false, false, false. Lots of false. Lots of false. I wonder how Annette's feeling. She had her infusion yesterday. The buildup of all these infusions. I wonder if it's doing a doozy. Poor gal. False. We have more false. So actually the answer is true. Well, according to them, the answer is true. Apparently llamas once lived only in North America. 2. Which of the, this is question number 2, ready? Unless they were an endangered species at one time and brought back around. Could be. Which of these is the same family as a llama? Which of these is in the same family as a llama? A, camel, B, horse, or C, sheep? I'm going to open this up just a little bit. I need a little fresh air in here. Let's see what we have. Camel, alpaca, and camel. A, sheep, camel. We're all over. Okay, so the answer to that is camel. A, camel. All right, ready? What similar cousin of the llama is kept for its wool? Normally I don't open up that window because I get a lot of traffic noise. But I'm a little hot and it's a little cold out there. So I want a nice little constant breeze. And alpaca. Hi, Helen. Alpaca it is. Look at you all smarty pants. All right, ready? True or false? Celebrity. Sophia Loren's sister Maria married Romano Mussolini, the son of the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. So Sophia Loren's sister Maria married Romano Mussolini, the son of the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. True or false? Where's Giovanna? She would know this probably. We have, let's see, we have true. Hi, Ron. Morning. I have no clue. So I didn't either. The answer is true. The couple had 2 daughters, Elisabetta and Alexandra, leader of the Italian right-wing party, Alternativa Sociale. I think that's okay. There is some. All right, ready? Here, we're going to have another one. Ready? And Johnny Carson was offered a role in Blazing Saddles. True or false? Johnny Carson was offered a role in Blazing Saddles. True or false? So now we have, whoops, this part of pumpkin magic. It is kind of a magical pumpkin. It looks like It's been a little possessed, maybe, a little mystical and magical. How old are you? A lady never tells her age, Ron. How old are you, Ron? And even if I wasn't a lady, I still wouldn't tell you my age. It's not polite. Oh. Hold on. Oh, yes. Oh, we have nothing better to do. Oh, Ron is 55 years old. Okay, Ron. Well, you're in good company as long as you keep it PG. And you're respectful. Oh, boy. So ready? Blazing Saddles. What was our, we have false, we have true. Okay, so the answer is true. The role ultimately, though, went to Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder. True or false? Here we have another one. Golf legend Jack Nicklaus is colorblind. True or false? Could you imagine pumpkin magic on the walls in the kindergarten wing? They would absolutely just go gaga for this quilt because they can I spy all day. There's so much fun fabric in this. Oh, I may have to do that. I know exactly where I could put it where everyone would be able to see it. I probably won't be allowed to, though, because of codes. Now that I think about it, because let's see. True, true, true. So the answer is true. Other celebrities suffering from the affliction include Matt Lauer, the late Paul Newman, and the late Bing Crosby. There we go. And here we have another one. Yes, Nikki, with nothing better to do. Oh my goodness. Arnold Schwarzenegger bought President John F. Kennedy's golf clubs at a 1996 auction. Arnold Schwarzenegger bought President John F. Kennedy's golf clubs at a 1996 auction. True or false? Bonjour, Monique. How are you? I was like getting good at Duolingo, trying to learn some French, as my honey's family is completely French from France, French. And so when they come and visit, I could have actual conversation with the family. But my honey's of no help as he doesn't speak a lick of French. He's like some of my children. One of my children speaks Spanish very fluently, and the other two are broken Spanish. Giant, wait, what? Glam Cat. Wow, you guys are getting all fancy with your names. All right, we got True. Good morning. So the answer is true. The actor / politician paid $772,500 for that. That's a lot of money. He could have fed a lot of kids. Okay. Okay, here we go. This one goes out to Joe. Yes, this one goes out to Joe. Oh, we have so many Joes. Oh, oh my goodness. I am right now, my Scrappy Joe, my channel Joe. Oh my God, Joe Creative. Oh, someone help me. Because it's not that I forgot, I just can't remember right now. Well, we know how she likes to take care of animals. She is such the animal lover. So this question goes out to her. How to aid an injured bird. Vintage Style by Joe. Thank you. Vintage Style by Joe. How to aid an injured bird. Ready? Good morning, Mona. A, move the bird to a shaded place in a tree where it will be safe from predators. Give it water and call a veterinarian. B, carefully place the bird in a box or a bag punched with holes and call a veterinarian. Or C, immobilize the bird so it will not cause itself further injury and feed it worms until it recovers. Let's see what we have. We have 1B. This is the bottom of Pumpkin Magic. Scrappy Pumpkin Magic. All right, we're going to now add our 2 halves, and we will have our whole Pumpkin Magic quilt piece. That was a lot of 4.5-inch units, just saying. Oh, that feels so good. I just got a nice little outdoor breeze. That's going to be adorable. As a kid, we were always told to leave the little birds alone so their mama will come back and get them. That's true. I was taught that too. And we're all over the place with the answer. So the answer is B. Carefully place the bird in a box or a bag with holes and call a vet, according to this. Oh, wait, here we go. I knew I was going to do it. Dotted Doodler. Hello, Dotted Doodler. What are you making this morning? I am making a pumpkin quilt. I'm almost done here. I'm putting in one of the last seams to get the body done of it, and then I'm just going to put and sew the border on. So here we are. This is why when we do these cards, things like this happen. We must have gone on vacation with me, and you know, when we go on vacation with me, things go crazy. So here we are, we're on vacation, and we're on the plane. And now we need to learn how to land a plane. Something happened to the pilot, and now we have to land this plane. We have to land the plane. So here we are. These are our choices. How that came together. It did come together super fast. How to land a plane. A, decelerate to 35 miles per hour just before touching the ground. This goes this way. I just did not press this right. Okay. B, pull back on the throttle to reduce speed and keep the nose higher than 6 inches below the horizon. C, pull back on the throttle to reduce speed and keep, oh, I said that. Wait, B and C have the same. Oh, okay, so let me read these answers again. Ready? This is kind of important. We may need this one day. Ready? They have a parachute. Ready? Okay, ready? Here we go. How to land a plane. A, decelerate to 35 miles per hour just before touching the ground. B, pull back on the throttle to reduce speed and keep the nose higher than 6 inches below the horizon. C, Pull back on the throttle to reduce the speed and keep the nose 6 inches above the horizon. So we have below and above. This is 4.5. So, well, it's a mixture of 4.5-inch squares, 2.5-inch squares, and some potato chips thrown in there too for some variety. If you don't know what a potato chip is, because you're on here just kind of being amused by me, a potato chip is a piece of fabric that is 2.5 by 4.5-inch brick. Wall hanging size. This is definitely not a wall hanging size. This is definitely really big. I'm going to measure it after we're done. I think it's 13 across, and I don't know how many down. All right, here we are. And we have a lot of C's. So the answer is B. Pull back on the throttle to reduce speed and keep the nose higher than 6 inches below the horizon. Below the horizon. Okay, so we landed this plane. We landed this plane in the wild, but we landed it. We landed it. Now we landed it, and we have maybe this. It's called Describe the Initial Symptoms of AMS, Acute Mountain Sickness. So apparently we landed this plane on a mountain. And now we need to describe the initial symptoms of AMS, Acute Mountain Sickness. And with that said, we all will. We are A, headache. These are describing possible. A, headache, decreased appetite or nausea, malaise, decreased energy and irregular sleep. B, loss of balance, drowsiness and irritability. Or C, we have diarrhea, vomiting, and hyperactivity. What are the symptoms we are having now for AMS, acute mountain sickness? Because it wasn't bad enough we had to land the plane. And these are survival questions, what I'm reading you. All of the above. I mean, all the above sounds like when you watch a prescription, right? A medicine ad lately. And you're sitting there at dinner time trying to eat, and they're explaining everything you can get from taking that medication. That's what that sounds like. So the answer is you can't remember the answers. So the correct answer is A. Headache, decreased appetite or nausea, malaise, and decreased energy and irregular sleep. So we just landed a plane, and now we're trying to figure out if we have AMS. And now, there was an unfortunate incident. And we were, I don't know, somehow we were eating things we shouldn't in the wild. And now we ended up with hemorrhoids. Oh, yes, yes. So, ready? How to relieve hemorrhoids in the wild. A, soak the affected area in clean, cold water 3 times a day. B, apply a poultice made of mud and earthworms to the affected area. Sometimes I don't know if I can read these with a straight face. C, apply a concoction of elm bark to, what? Wait, apply a concoction of elm bark 2, like the number 2, to 3 times a day. And with that said, we have our, I'm going to go back here for a second. I'm going to move you all. So this is Pumpkin Magic. I'm going to give Pumpkin Magic a quick press and then pass. And then I'm going to put its borders on. And then we are done with Pumpkin Magic and we can work on Ghostly Goblins or something like that. I don't know what we'll call it. I've got a lot of like glow-in-the-dark alien fabric. I'm not sure what to do with, but I have a lot of this glow-in-the-dark alien fabric. So I'm going to try to figure something out with this. And these are half-yard cuts. So I'm going to be thinking what we could do with this. Let's see. If you ever have to use tucks, say they were amazing, you put them in the freezer. I'm in love. I'm crocheting a cardigan right now. So shockingly cute. Okay, so I'm going to come back with this. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, like, and share my channel so other people know I'm around. All right, let me press this. I'm almost done. All right, so we have our sides. I just cheated. I just did the outside edges because that's all that matters for right now. You subscribe, well, thank you. Hi, Rita. Yeah, we went on vacation with me again. And you know it never goes well when we do these survival questions when we go on vacation with me. We've already landed a plane, figured out whether we have mountain whatever. Oh, you just scared me. Bye, honey. Love you. He just scared the living bejesus out of me. He just scared me. I don't know why. Whew. He just scared me. Oh, I can't wait until I can do some lives. Well, are you a channel? Let me go and write this down on this piece of paper. You are the dotted doodler. I just shared out a crochet channel called The Crafty Witch yesterday, 232, I think it was. I see her on Paranormal sometimes. I don't crochet, but, you know, I like to look at it. Oh, no, not Butters. That was my honey. So, okay, so that's how I feel about lives too. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the side here. And so how to relieve hemorrhoids in the wild. Well, first of all, let's discuss these multiple choice answers. Yes, okay. Let's discuss them. Who is going to make a poultice out of mud and earthworms and put it in that area? I mean, for serious, someone actually... The thing that cracks me up about this game is that someone actually had to think up some choices. You know, that someone would actually have to have a great day, Regina. Please email me. I need your address. The whole reason is I need your address. That's what I need. I need your address. Yuck, no, thank you. Exactly. So let's just go that B is not going to be the right answer. So now we have at least a 50-50 of A, soak the affected area in a clean, cold water 3 times a day, or C, apply a concoction of elm bark 3 times a day. So, I actually thought it was C. The answer is C, because it seems like anytime we're in the wild and we have anything that fails us, we need elm bark. It seems like elm bark is the Vicks of Puerto Rico. You know, when there's something wrong in Puerto Rico, your grandmother would say, Pone Vicks y ya, which means just put on the Vicks, it's all good. You know, bug bites, Vicks. Can't breathe, Vicks. Cut, Vicks. Everything is Vicks. So, you know, can't breathe, put Vicks. So apparently, when you're in the wild, we have played this quite a bit of times, and elm bark seems to always be the right answer. The only thing is, I don't even know what elm bark looks like, so I think I probably should look that up. So God forbid if I ever need to, I just know to look for elm bark and boil it. The thing is I'm in the wild, because a lot of times they have you, like this says, apply a concoction. First of all, I'm in the wild. So now I need to find the rock and something else, because my guess is I'm going to have to like pummel this elm bark into some kind of paste. And so that it's not sawdust on my I would have to boil water. So now I don't know where I'm getting this pot to boil water. But maybe if I find a coconut, I can gather water, but is it clean water? And do I want to put it there? I don't know. This opens up so many questions for me. You have some great videos. She's going to watch later. So I will share you out and I will find you. I will find you, Dotted Doodler. So very funny. I just have so many questions. Opens up so many questions. Anyway, so that being said, we have done that. And and if that isn't bad enough, how to recover from dizziness after spinning. So I guess I was spinning my wheels and now I'm dizzy. So how to recover from dizziness after spinning. Are we ready? A, sit down and place your head between your legs. B, stop moving briefly and then spin for an equal amount of time in the opposite direction. Or C, close your eyes and lay your head back against a wall. Be good and make, yeah, exactly. Content creator, hello. You would have to boil the water to get clean water. Exactly. So where am I getting the pot from? I don't know. I'm in the wild. I just crashed. Hopefully someone has some housewares. Right. Well, we didn't crash. We landed the plane. So my guess is we landed the plane and we landed the plane and we went through people's luggage where we found housewares. Because, you know, when I went to Puerto Rico, I had pots and pans. So maybe someone else had the same thing and we got lucky. But then again, maybe there was tux pads somewhere in there. You know what? I got the water from the plane. Very good. You did. Magic pot. You can carry it in your pocket. Exactly. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, so something just happened. I'm going to show you something, and I'm sure this has happened to you all. And if you're new to quilting, I'm going to show you how to fix this, because this has happened quite. What about the galley? That's right. They have containers. They have boiled water because they just made tea for all of us. All right, so here I am. I have this scrappy border, and look at this. I have this here, and I would have this much. Look at this. This would be disastrous for me. I would not like this. But look, I would only have this much of that. You see it transitioned to about a 1/4 inch. I don't like that. It's just, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and rip this off. Well, or you could seam rip it off. And I want this to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say that's good. That looks more intentional. I want it to look more intentional than just that I ran out and I needed a 1/4 inch more. So this is how I fix this. I'm sure you all do this too, but I do have some newbies on here that if they should have this problem, this is how I fix it. So then I just take, see, this, and I would cut this off here. And then when I open this up and I sew this back down, I have a little bit more than a 1/4 inch. It looks a little bit more cohesive. I mean, how many times has that happened to all of us, right? I feel like that's a common thing. Hi, Denise. You did not know anybody else did. Well, that would bother me. I mean, I'm sure people don't do it, but in case if you're a little bit like me and don't want that 1/4 inch craziness, there we go. Now it looks intentional. It's not looking a little crazy. All right, so, oh no, did I just put this in the wrong spot? I just put this in the wrong spot. No! Are you kidding me? I did. Okay, well, that's not good. I didn't put that in the right spot, and that does matter. Yeah, because now my stuff is going awkwardly in the wrong direction. I got caught up. Okay, so I will pick this. I should have known something was weird because it shouldn't have looked like that. Okay, so I will play with that later. I'm just going to open this up a little right now. And I'm going to place the other strip in this. So that was supposed to go on the long side, and I put that on the short side. But, you know, we're not, right? Did I do that? Yes, I did that. That's supposed to go on here. Okay, so now it'll be extra scrappy. Here we are. This goes on the side. I will unpick that and then probably put these pieces back together. It's all good. No tears. I make a lot of mistakes. You see a lot of mistakes happen here, but you know, you just go with the flow. It's supposed to be fun and exciting and new. It happens. I will use. So, okay, so we are, where are we? Oh, we're spinning. We're spinning around in dizziness. Look at this. I got so dizzy I was putting on the stuff wrong. So the answer is B. Stop moving briefly, then spin for an equal amount of time in the opposite direction. All right. Well, you've come back from this nightmare of a trip, okay? We have landed a plane. We've got hemorrhoids in the wild. We suffer for a whatever, MS, PUQ, RST, mountain fever, whatever. What else happened to us? I don't know. A lot of stuff happened to us on our vacation, and we come back. And now we get back to work, and we should have been back to work, you know, like weeks ago, but we just got rescued. And so now we got rescued, and we're back home, and we go to work. Well, sure enough, the boss calls us in the office. What do you think happens? He calls us in the office. Well, you've been fired. Yes. It can't get any worse, but now you've been fired. How to treat hyperventilation when you've been fired. Okay, A, breathe slowly into a paper bag. B, breathe quickly and deeply into a paper bag. Or C, lie down and raise your arms over your head. Oh, you know what? Lynn called me yesterday. And I wrote all this information down, and I don't know where I put it, but I do remember. She said if you're looking for Halloween fabric and other kind of fabric, there's Halloween and I forgot, maybe holiday. Please don't. I know for a definite she said Halloween fabric. If you're looking for Halloween fabric, she's got some on sale. You go to Soft Squares. If you go to Soft Squares, and then she has, I called it a banner. She just called it a little blip area where it says, you know, fabric on sale, Halloween, and whatever other ones that she has on sale. You hit click here, and it brings you to all the fabric on sale. And it also gives you a promo code. So just go, if you're looking for Halloween fabric, you can go to her website. I also got an email from Lori from Kaleidoscope Quilts. The reason why you haven't seen me, she's the lady who bought the sewing machine for the young boy at school. The reason you, oh, I have to pull that back. You haven't seen me make a kit is she had major surgery, much major than my surgery. And she has still been recuperating. I think she had the surgery back in May. And so she doesn't have the strength to cut up kits. So right now, if we're looking for somewhere to go as well, she doesn't have, I don't think she has Halloween fabric. I think she has like fabric from like boxes and things that she does. In any case, she has $5 yard fabric. So if you go to Kaleidoscope Quilting, or I think it's called Lab Fabrics, her fabric, it's, again, that is just other kinds of fabric. She's just trying to keep her business afloat while she is recuperating from surgery. And so I love that she did that, pass it forward for that kid who needed a sewing machine. So I did go online to look at what she had, and she has fabric on sale. I could get more info. I was going to call her today and see how she's doing and get more info about that. Fall and Christmas. There we go. Andrew's got it. So it's Halloween and fall and Christmas. Yes. Code pumpkin for discount. Wait. I did go there a few days ago and said they're temporary. Yes, so the shop is temporarily closed and the subscription boxes are on hold. But she sent me info about all her fabric was being. She was putting all her fabric for $5 a yard. Beautiful fabrics. I was gonna call her to find out more. And yes, I'm using an electric eyebrow trimmer that probably can use on my face. Okay, so let's go on to this here. Ready? So we came back from the disaster, got rescued. That was the positive. Went to work, got fired, and we're now hyperventilating. So the correct answer to take care of that hyperventilation at work is breathe slowly into a paper bag. The correct answer was A. A was the correct answer. So, if things couldn't get worse, we got fired, now we're leaving, we're going back home. And on our way home, how to survive breaking your heel on your way home from work. Ready? Because, you know, we just went from one extreme to the next. A, find a newspaper and hairbands. Wad enough newspaper under the heels to even out the shoe height. Use the band to secure the shoe. B, take off your shoes. Or C, find somewhere to sit and break the other heel off. Bang it against the sidewalk would work. Those are your choices. We're going to go home with our head held down in shame, now with a broken heel. At this point, I don't know. I'm depressing myself after this adventure. But this game is a survival. So, you know, we're going to come home after this crappy day from work, the crappy vacation, and we're going to quilt. We're going to quilt our heart's desire. We're going to crochet. We're going to quilt. We're going to do all our mental health hobbying after this adventure. Kaleidoscope quilts. Take off both heels and then scream. And I'd want to throw it at something. I probably would want to take my shoes off and throw it at something. Quilts eternity. Oh, no, eventually. That's Kathy. Quilts eventually. Yes, C. You have a great day, Bona. So the answer is C. Find somewhere to sit, break off the other heel, bang it against the sidewalk. Should work. I don't know. And we all hope that it wasn't your red bottom heels. I don't own a pair of red bottom heels, but oh, if I did, I think I'd cry. I think I'd sit there, break off the other heel, and cry. We need this so we can put it on the other side. And because I cannot rip this off because it's on patchwork. I mean, where's that? It can only go up from there. That's why we got to go home and do our mental health hobby, whatever that may be, puzzling, whatever it is. I think today it just does not want me to finish this on a live. All right, so we've done that. Oh no. Oh, things just got worse. How can I think all these things have? I mean, I guess it's survival questions. So you have to survive these things. So now we've taken off our shoes. I mean, we've broken off our heels. So now we're walking around heelless in shoes. I don't wear heels anymore. Well, I do and I don't. It depends. I don't wear them often. I used to wear heels all the time. I was the heel person. What is up with it? Oh, I have a spot where I reinforce. Remember when we had added the other thing? Okay, so we're walking around with our heels off, our shoes, right? And someone wants to fight me. Someone wants to fight me. A crazy person wants to fight me for I don't know what reason on the street. Maybe I don't know. But we're walking home and now someone wants to get into a fight with me. And I need to survive this fight. And it says, what to attack to survive a fight. I wish I had my heels because I would take off my shoes and use my heel on them. But I don't have any more heels. So that's not going to work. So how to attack to survive a fight. I'm fighting with this. I don't know if I could see. So this is blue thread on black fabric. I just don't want to nick my fabric. Oh, good. I got the stitch. All right. A. To the eyes, Adam's apple, and family jewels. B. The solar plex, the kneecap, and the ears. Or C. The small of the back, the neck, and the feet. Those are our choices. How do we fight back? I don't want to fight back at this moment. I just want to go home and sew. All right. Pepper spray. A all day. All right, so we have that. Now I have to re-sew I have to re-sew this back to here. After I just took it off, I have to re-sew it back. It's all right. It's all good. It's going to make me smile after I'm done. And we will re-sew. Whoa. I'll re-sew this. And we have, okay, thank you, E-Marie. So here we go. We are the Eyes, Adam's Apple, and Family Jewels. That's what we're doing. That's how we are going to survive that. Okay, so now I'm exhausted with all this, and I come home. Yes, I'm home. I'm finally home. I am finally home. I am going to sew. I'm going to sew. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to just chalk it up to life and be all right about it. I walk in the door. Yes, I walk in the door after my day. And what happens? The cat's mad at me. Yes, the cat is mad at me. Because, you know, cats get mad. And when cats get mad, that's not a good thing. Because I know I used to own a cat before I actually owned 2 cats before I knew I was highly allergic to cats. Yes, the cat is not happy with us. Wait, did we get out of the mountains? Yes, we got out of the mountains, and then we went to work, and then we got fired. Then we walked home, and then our heel broke. Then someone wanted to give us a fight with us. Now we're home. We're getting ready. We're happy because we are going to do some mental health hobbying, whether it be crocheting, sewing, puzzling, whatever it is we do to bring joy into our life and decompress. But we get home and the cat's not happy. Was not happy with us, okay? And I don't know about you all, but my 2 kitties that I used to have back in the day, one was when I was a teenager and one was in my 20s, early 20s. Yeah, they would do things. They would do little things to let you know they weren't happy. And I go to sit on my couch. Cat mad. No, not possible. 3 cats. Mad look out. Mad cats, dogs run. Yes. Hi, Katie. I hope you're feeling better, Katie. You've been on my mind, girl. I hope your pain is getting better. Poor living with MS is dealing with pain too. I am so sorry for you all because I know how that feels when you can't manage it. I found out the hard way. So, yes. So now you go sit down on the couch. Not for nothing, but your butt is wet. That's the nice word I'm going to say. Your butt becomes wet. Yeah. Yeah. The cat left you a little something to think about. So you get up off the couch and you're like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So now you have cat urine and how to remove the smell, because it's smelly cat urine, from your sofa, your upholstery, your sofa. Oh, yeah. So A, squirt lemon juice over the area once a day for 1 week. B, spray athlete's foot powder over the area. Vacuum after leaving it overnight. Or C, rub a mixture of hot water, baking soda, and peroxide over the area. Vacuum when dry. Cat pee stinks so bad. Set the couch on fire. You know, mine peed on my bed once. We went on vacation for the weekend, and we had like a cat sitter, but they didn't stay at the house. And we came home and they peed. Cyrus peed. Cyrus was the name of the cat. Cyrus peed on the bed. Yep. My daughter's had her cat poop on her bed. after visiting her mama. That was very early on. She actually normally always brings the cat, but this one time, I don't know, the cat didn't go. I don't know if she was visiting me or someone else. But yes. A, odor ban. C, I still been lurking. Sorry, Lisa, are we distracting you? Because we're having all kinds of craziness happening in our virtual survival game today. Oh, there it goes. Another one bits the dust. So Jessica from the Sewing on the Bluff made me a one of those quilts, fidget quilt for school. And I would love to say I still have it, but I don't, because at the end of the year, there was a little boy, well, I shouldn't say little boy, a big boy, who has autism, who really, really loved that, that fidget blanket. And when he saw that, when they saw I was packing up at the end of the year, right, I didn't have the heart to say you can't have it. So I gave it to him. So I'm sorry, Jessica. I gave away your fidget blanket to this boy, but he really needed it. I couldn't say no because I know it calms him down. So, but on there, she had like a little spool thing that they like. So I have been saving my spools for the last, I'm almost afraid to show you this. This is from recovery. I'm still sitting here looking at it and say, I cannot believe I used this much thread during recovery. Not to mention that I have these that are on their way out as well. But yes, this is my bag of these from recovery. So I have these. I've saved them because I never used to save them until I saw her had them on those fidget blankets. Usually that means the cat has a medical problem, such as a UTI. Oh, okay, did not. My cats do not do their business on the furniture. Oh, yeah. So, in any case, so the answer to this is C. Now, it's interesting because I used baking soda and vinegar. They're saying peroxide. I thought peroxide would bleach your couch or anything like that. I mean, I've never had them pee on my couch, but Cyrus did pee in my bed. He would do that anytime we went away. So the good news is that, you know, I made my bed and I always had lots of quilts and blankets on it. So it never soaked into like where it would reach the mattress. So I would just stick my sheets and blankets and quilts in the washing machine. But I always use baking soda and vinegar. So they're saying rub. Yeah, I don't know. They're saying rub a mixture of hot water, baking soda, peroxide over the area and vacuum. That's what I thought. Yeah, I would think so too. So I don't know. I have a fidget blanket for you. Whenever you are ready for it, just let me know. Linda, I'm ready for it now because I had a fidget blanket, remember, in my peace corner of my area at school where the kiddos, hence how they know that fidget blanket was there. Excuse me. So I need now a new fidget blanket for this school year. Because I did give Jessica's that she made me for the school year. I gave it away at the end of the year to a child in need. So I feel good about that. But now I don't have a fidget blanket to start my year with. So yes, I will take a fidget blanket so I can add to that. I work in a school district. Yes, I work in a school district. I'm not a classroom teacher, no. I used to be a classroom TA for many years in special ed and whatnot. Now I'm kind of used everywhere. I don't even know where I am this year. I actually have to go to work and figure it out before I start again on Thursday. I'm just usually supportive for the classroom support, children's support, mental health support. Do you need the adult bibs now also? We'll get, that lady has not called me yet. I'm still figuring that one out. Hi, So Terry. Thanks for keeping me company. Gotta head to work. Not a problem. That you did hear what happened, right? Jessica with the blanket. So, but I mean, you've made that child's day. But if you need, I have these here. I'm going to try to attempt to make one. So here I have my borders on here. And now I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to go. I want to put the top and bottom on, and then that's it. I don't know where the bottom went. All right, well, here's this part. I know I have another one of these pieces somewhere. If I can't find it, then I guess I would have to end it. I worked in a special ed school for 30 years, supervisor. No, I missed it. No problem. So we were discussing, I have these and how you put them on fidget blankets. And the beautiful fidget blanket you made, I had to give to a boy at the end of the year who has autism and loved that blanket. So he needed it more than I needed it stored in my house until the new year started. So he's in, just to let you know, it's in a beautiful place with him. But Linda has offered up a fidget blanket. Oh, good. I'm glad. I didn't ask you ahead of time, but I knew you wouldn't mind. I knew you wouldn't mind. Oh, nice. What are your upcoming projects, Leanna? Well, right now I am finishing this. Oh, those kiddos love those fidget blankets, and he really needed it. So I'm putting this top and bottom. Okay, so we had the cat's done. I'm exhausted. And we're going to go on to good things. We're done with the disastrous days that we've had. And we are going to go, I bet you make an impactful difference. Well, I hope I do. Because that's, I bring my sewing machine in. We quilt in school, little, with glue and my scraps. We do a lot of talking and therapy and whatever, anything that could get them. I just gave another sewing machine away to a 5th grader, and so that was great. And her mom has been posting pictures of her sewing with it, so that was super exciting. I just came across another sewing machine, but it has to be rehabilitated. It is, I think, a Sears Kenmore in a desk, right? It's in a table. So I just got that for free. So we're going to clean that up, honey and I, and fix it so that if we have another student who needs a sewing machine, we can pass that along. I think it's funny because I think now the students are getting it, that if they are an artist and they're old enough to manage a sewing machine, if you ask Ms. Nieves, she will give you a sewing machine or find a way to get a sewing machine to you. And actually now that is a thing, because I ran into some people at school and they said, I hear you've been outfitting some students in our district with sewing machines, and they thought that was quite lovely. And I said, well, we got to keep this sewing tradition alive. If I knew how to knit and crochet, that would be a good thing for me to put in the stuff for me to have for kiddos to kind of fidget with and play and do and learn, but I don't. So here is the top. Now I have, oh, here it is. I found it. Okay. We're going to put this last one on, and then we're going to have the whole project done. the whole project done. I just have to see which way I want it to lay. I want it to lay like this. Right? It has to be like that. Yep. Now this is going to be interesting because I have somewhat, I think I may run just a shy short, but we're going to see. We're going to see what we can do here. Because I did find more of this other fabric. So I just found another piece. So if we run short, I can add it. So here is our last one. And what do we have? I'm a paralegal by trade, but about 2 years ago, I skipped over the healthcare and have been working for a pediatrics office, and I love it. Oh, seeing those little kiddos. Patients for little ones. Yes. So, okay. So here we go. This is a mineral. This is a mineral. I'll put it up close. However, operating a sewing machine is another matter. I get it. So what mineral is that? I will say, or crystal. Crystal dragon. What crystal is that? Mineral. Rita. It's calling on you. Let's see. Quartz, amethyst. Hola, Johnny. ¿Cómo está? Buenos días. That is amethyst. Not sure of the spelling though. Yes, it's amethyst. So amethyst exists in green and yellow varieties. True or false? True or false? Amethyst exists in green and yellow varieties. Wow, I am over this allergy nonsense. Yep, I was right. It was going to be short. That's okay. I actually found another piece. Let's see. How can I do this so that it looks intentional? I am going to bring it to here. I'm right behind here. I just have to cut a piece of this off. Just a little piece. So the I use 3.5 for the border on this. Hold on. I got lucky. I found another piece of this, which is what I was using. So I am going to just see where it lies on here. So it looks intentional. So we'll put it like over here. There we are. And Got that. Let's see. True, 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 true. I've only seen purple. And the answer is false. All amethyst is purple by definition. I thought there was other colors of amethyst, but I guess not. I'm with you on that. There we are. Wow. We've had some, trials and tribulations with putting on these borders, but we got it. We got it. Nothing ever goes smooth. When it's always the end, it never goes smooth. All right, 2. What did ancient Romans and Greeks believe wearing amethyst do? A, made you fertile. B, protected you from illness. Or C, stopped you from getting drunk. What did ancient Romans and Greeks believe wearing amethyst did? A, made you fertile. B, protect you from illness. Or C, stopped you from getting drunk. I love green amethyst, but it's a man-made, and as they heat it. Oh. So we have B, C. Quilting, eventually Kathy says B. Not getting drunk. All right, here we are. So the answer, and I can't believe it, prevent from getting drunk. It is. It's C. Stop you from getting drunk. So that means the next time I want to have a good old time, I should wear all my amethyst. Like my grandmother had a lot of amethyst. Like on the rocks, I have big little rocks of amethyst and whatnot that she left to me. Not my grandma who passed away, my other grandma. And I had a Grandma Josefina and Grandma Santa. So Grandma Josefina was all about the crystals and all that mystical. So yes, they thought it was that. Okay, ready? Number 3, and then I'm going to press this. Amethyst is a variety of what type of crystal? Amethyst is a variety of what kind of crystal? Man, I had it right and changed my mind. I'm almost done. All right, here we are. I'm going to trim off. I'm going to cut off this corner piece. Oh, perfect. That squared up perfectly. I couldn't do that better myself if I tried. And that's Too. All right, here we are. I'm going to move the camera. And then this way we're going to put you up. And the answer is quartz. For those who are in there, quartz. You ready? I'm going to unveil this. I'm moving it. I'm going to be moving it again, moving the camera again. And here we are. I have to be on my tippy toes. Here we are, pumpkin magic. We have some pumpkin magic. Again, you can do this too using your scraps. All right, get out your pumpkin scraps, your Halloween scraps. Again, 4.5-inch block grid. Everything is a 4.5-inch block. So that's a 4.5-inch block. This one that has a single potato chip and two, what should we call it? If that's a potato chip, what do we call the little 2x2s? Minis? Potato chips, some minis, M&Ms. M&Ms, we could call it an M&M with a potato chip. A potato chip and an M&M. I'm making stuff up. Anyway, you have two. I mean, you know, here you just make this up with a lot of flipping stitches until you get it to how you want it to look. And then again, I did border it with some orange just to bring some orange back into the quilt. You can't see the bottom. That's the only thing because this right here is stopping it. Let me see. If I bring it forward, can you see? Hold on, let's see. There it goes. There is the bottom. And I'm moving it. So there we go. There is some scrappy goodness. Mini chips. Yes. Chippies. I like that. Chocolate chips. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Potato chips with some chocolate chips. And you got it. Half square triangles. There's a little bit of everything in this. Is that for you, Leon? I'm loving this. I love this. It is. I wanted it on my bed, but I'm thinking the kiddos at school would probably like this better on the wall. I don't think I could put a quilt this big because it might be like some kind of fire code situation. You know, in schools, we have to deal with those things. So that's it. Now, what needs to happen is I need to actually do like DMV stuff and actually do crazy stuff before I start back to work. But I will start tinkering with like a this, you know, 4.5-inch kind of grid. I don't have scraps for this, so I'm using yardage. And so I don't know if I'm going to strip piece or what, but I'm going to have it look very scrappy with some ghosts in there. Not one ghost, but many ghosts. So we have like a little ghost and then a big ghost. And I think I'm going to stay with 4.5-inch. So with that said, everyone, take care of yourself. Pass it forward. Please like, subscribe, share my channel. If you just got on here on your way out, if you don't mind giving me the thumbs up, I would appreciate it. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh. One other thing, don't forget to enter the Pass It Forward that I'll be calling tomorrow. Bye-bye.